dude.
They blew
Iconic
up.
till this day, man. Like,
So I still got the 808 around here somewhere that I did it with.
oh,
So,
nice, dude.
yeah.
Damn. You've also done work in production for Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, man.
Yeah, and that's the craziest story. Huh, there it is. That right there.
Field right there, man. If you want that, I can send it to you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But that is the craziest story because I was only maybe 17 at the time, maybe 18, because I knew it was like 84, 83, 84. And I just graduated high school, right?
Yes.
And everybody around me was making records. Like Dre and Yella was like, hey man, we about to make a record, the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Like what? And I was hanging around Egypt at the time, who was always DJing together.
Yes.
And Egypt was like, we about to make a record, Uncle Jam's Army. We about to drop.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Hey, I want to make a record.
Yeah.
Right? So I went in the studio. I had saved up some money, man, like $500. I had this dude I was working for give me another 500. I went to a recording studio. I had never been in a recording studio in my life.
Wow.
But my mom's was a piano teacher, so I knew how to play. I knew what I wanted in my head. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to make some craft work sounding Planet Rock. You know, I wanted to make it sound like that. And then I love Prince, right? Because I was, at the time, I was dressing like Prince back then. Because everybody,
Prince is the shit, dude. Prince is badass. One of my favorite shit.
I made a record. It didn't come out exactly like I wanted, but it was dope. I was like, I like this shit. It's hot. Yeah. So I go to Macola Records because I hear that's what everybody's going to get their records pressed.
Yes.
So I remember getting down there, and I don't even think I had a car at the time, dude. I think I could bus out to Hollywood. Wow. So I go in, and I asked the lady in the front, like, hey, I want to get my record done. I hear my boys is getting their records here. She would say, okay, I'll let you talk to the owner. Russ Parr, who was Bobby Jimmy, and he was the morning radio show host on radio, right?
Yes.
He was there talking to the owner, and he came up. He said, "Oh, you got a record?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a record." He said, "You a producer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a producer. I produce crap. That's the only song I ever done." I was like, "Yeah, I'm a producer." So he listened to my record, and he was like, "Man, this was hot." He said, "I'll tell you what, I got a deal for you." He said, "I'll put your record on my label if you produce Bobby Jimmy and the Critters." And I'm like, okay. So I got a job producing and my record put out for nothing. Yeah. So yeah.
Dude, you're very creative, man. Very innovative, brother, you know? And that's when it comes to music, man, I could tell by the way that you just follow your passion, man. You know what I'm saying? That New York, LA rappers on Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, I saw some of those labels off of Ruthless that they just put out kind of like that one track there.
Yeah, we had and later on signed a deal with Ruthless to put out Bobby Jimmy and the Critters. So that ended up on Ruthless Records.
And a lot of those funny songs like that they would make. Didn't NWA do cover songs like that where they would copy, kind of make them funny too at the beginning, right?
Yeah, we would do the little skits and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Did you help do any production on Easy's album, on that Easy Does It?
Yeah, I was there working on a lot of the beats and a lot of the concepts and ideas with Dre and Yella, and yeah, I worked on everything there until the day I left. It kind of
seemed like Easy kept some of that comedy throughout his, his CDs that he would drop and stuff like that. I'd rather fuck you, automobile and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Easy was
funny. Give me that nut on that real motherfucking G's and shit like that. That album.
Yeah.
How was Easy as a person, man? Any stories or anything that stands out to you in reflection? You know what I'm saying? Like after all these years?
Yeah, man. He was a cool ass cat, man. He was real. He didn't take no mess. I remember, every time we do a show somewhere, somebody be trying to like step to us, and Easy was the first to step back, on everybody else. So he wasn't a dude to be messed with. And that's one thing I tell people. Just because he was little in stature, he was big and real. So yeah, he was a real deal.
Wow. Talk to us about your brother A-Rob album, man, off of Morpheus Records, which was also your label mates, Compton's Most Wanted and DJ Unknown.
Yeah, I think I just got off the phone with Unknown DJ, man. That's my boy.
He was also right. He was also part of the original KDY, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff, original mixed master stuff back in the day. Was part of the original Wrecking Crew back in the day. He did a lot of stuff, man, and we went over to Orpheus. Like when I left NWA,
Yes.
I went on the Orpheus Records. That was part of EMI to drop my record. And, I wanted to kind of just do what I wanted to do. And then Conference Most Wanted was over there as well. And it was a good thing.
Pretty cool album right there, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And then talk to us about Crazy D and then his electro funk. And what was his part in NWA, brother? I know he was bringing back a little bit of that electro funk not too long ago, too, right?
Yeah. I actually talked to him a few months ago, man. Crazy D is crazy.
Yeah.
He was the homie, too. He was down with the crew, NWA crew back in the day.
I know he would go back and forth with Cypress Hill or with like Mellow Man Ace and them, too, right? Back in those days like that.
Yeah. And actually, Mellow, the homie, man, we don't tell nobody, man, but we play golf. So,
yeah. Mellow Man Ace, dude. Cool dude, man. Very humble, too, man.
Yes, sir.
Does electro funk live, and is it the father of house music, deep house, techno, and trance, brother?
Yeah, it is. I tell people the electro funk started it all. This whole EDM movement, everything, and I don't know if you noticed, every time a new artist drops an electro funk beat or redoes a track, it blows up.
Yes, man. That's the shit right there, dude. I love that
yes,
music.
Sir.
How do you feel that the hip hop music scene has changed since the 80s, and what do you feel it's lacking nowadays, brother? In your perspective.
I'm a realist, right?
Yes.
So I'm a music scholar. I study music. I appreciate all forms of music.
Yes.
So I understand. I may not like every rap record that comes out now. I didn't like every rap record that came out then. So for me, it was kind of like, I look at it for what it is. You got to look at it generationally. Yeah, there it is, generationally.
Yes.
When we were young, and you brought up Kiss, and you brought up the Beatles.
Yes.
When the Beatles were coming up, the parents and that generation before were like, them damn Beatles, that's just noise. What kind of music is that? Rock and roll. What is this crap? Right? It's the same thing. So now that me as a rapper, I'm an old ass man considered to younger rappers or the younger generation, I sound old. I'm like, that rock ass hippity hop record stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing. But you gotta appreciate it. For me, a jam is a jam. If it's banging, I'm with it. I don't care what they're talking about. Because everybody talking about whatever. As long as it's a good song. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some garbage out there. There's garbage. It's been garbage for the last 100 years. But, I just appreciate all music, man. And more power to this younger generation. Yeah.
You think it's a little bit easier for them to get on, though, now with the downloads and how people are able to do music at home? And,
I think it's two ways. It's easier for them to get on. The technology is easier for them to make beats. Like Fools is making beats on their phone now, right? On their tablet.
Yes.
But you got to look at the other way. It's harder to be successful because now you got 900,000 people making records. Yeah. Before, it was like us. It was like 12 people making records, especially rap.
And people appreciated that. We'll go look for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now it's just like...
They would fiend for it, bro. Like, where can I pick this up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, now you don't really know who's who because there's so much music out there.
Yeah. We spoke about the Beatles, man. Were you a Beatles or a Stones fan?
I was more of a Stones fan. Like, the Beatles, to me, and I hope no British people get mad at me, because when we were young, I'm not sure how old you are. You remember the Monkees?
45.
Okay, you remember? Did you ever see the Monkees?
Yeah. Hey, we're the Monkees. Yeah.
Hey, we're the Monkees. Yeah. The Beatles was like the Monkees to me because I would watch the Monkees on TV, and I'm like, hey, that's the Beatles. They like the Beatles. So the Beatles was more like comedy to me. It was like funny music.
Yeah.
That sound, you know what I mean? Yeah. Rolling Stones and, like I said, Kiss, and like I was into like the darker stuff, like the Van Halen and like the rough music back then. That's what I was into.
Yeah, man, dude, She's So Cold, Under My Thumb, all that, dude. Fucking Stones are badass, man.
Yes, sir.
Who do you feel you learned more from musically, man? Egyptian Lover, Dre back in the days, production wise, or did you guys kind of all vibe off of each other, brother?
I think it was a collective, man. We all brought something, like, I was a young kid in the hood that helped everybody out because I was like the tech dude, right? I knew how to run the drum machines and the sequencers and the synthesizers back in the day. Because back then, MIDI came later. Like when we first started, there was no MIDI.
Wow.
Then MIDI showed up and we had to figure all that out. So I was the one that helped everybody figure things out. So I hung with Egypt when he was learning how to use the 808. I hung with Dre and the Wrecking Crew when they were learning how to use all the.
And they were rivals, right? Was it the Wrecking Crew? And
Wrecking Crew was against Egypt.
So you were the bridge. You were the bridge to that then.
Yeah, because I hung out with everybody, like Green Team, them who were. I didn't care because I was a solo artist, so I was just down with everybody. I was trying to get paid.
Yeah, you're learning from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like soaking it in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's your favorite Egyptian lover song, man?
It's always like Egypt, but I would say for me, Dial a Freak, you know, since that was the first one that kind of started that sound for them, for Uncle Jim's Army. And then he's got another song that not too many people, me and him actually did a track together.
Oh, did you?
Years ago. Yeah, there's a track out on his.
Yeah. What's the name of that one?
It's called, oh man, I have to look it up. It's like it's me and him both on the same track. I think I'm gonna look it up while I'm talking to you. I think it's on his 1983 album or 1984 album that he did. But yeah, we did a song together. And
shit, I gotta look that up, brother. Shit.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Let's see here, record. But yeah, I liked all them tracks, man. Oh, here it is. It's called Here We Go.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna search it later. I'm gonna add that to my playlist, man.
Oh yeah. Here it was like we were just in the studio messing around. It's like a demo, like a limited edition thing. We were like, let's do something.
Wow. That's dope, man. One of my favorites of his is that it's a little bit later one is that Let's Get It On. Oh dude, that's a dope one, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Talk to us about the love for technology and when did it start and where has it led you to? Where you're at now?
Man, like, how can I put this? So, music blessed me to learn like all of the different types of technology, right?
Yes.
Because you had to learn computers in order to sequence music. So we were doing electronic music.
Yes.
You had to learn computers in order to be able to like do multiple tracks and have a sequencer run and arpeggiator and all of the stuff we were trying to do. So for that flipped me into doing animation, video games. Because I've worked on like tons of video games and I did all the
name us some of the video games that you've worked on and where could we find them at?
Man, so let me start. When I first started getting into it, I did the visual effects on the Power Rangers. Like the first series of Power Rangers, I worked on Power Rangers, Silver Surfer, Addams Family, Casper.
Dude, that's dope, man. What?
Then I worked on like.
That's mind blowing, bro.
Dude, I've worked on the Simpsons Hit and Run game.
Damn.
The King of the Hill game. I worked on Lord of the Rings. I mean,
fucking
Scratch
countless, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on like hundreds of projects, man, over the last like 40 years. You know,
true entrepreneur, brother.
Yeah, still to this day, still grinding.
And then talk to us about your Innovate Next movement and your Open Lab, bro, because that's important for the future generation. You know what I'm saying?
So, most of my stuff now, so Innovate Next Open Labs, we build and help companies build technology centers for inner city kids. I'm all about